Hello. Ooh, this is not working. Let's try this one. Let's try it. Let's see if you can hear the audio. If not, let me know. I think my mic is not working. So if you can't hear me, let me know and I'll just take it off and then just use my iPad audio. We are going to be waiting for Desi tonight. We are discussing for the Definitely Readers Book Club, we're discussing Hunting Sirens by Mary Mecham. This book. I see her. 1 minute. Hello. Oh, please let me know if my audio is not working. Anyone who is here, my mic is just not gonna worry about my mic, and I'm just gonna take it off. It keeps blinking, and so I couldn't see if it was working or not. So I guess that means I need to get a new mic, which is fine. I can get that. Hello, hi, happy Wednesday night. Welcome to the Definitely Readers Book Club for Hunting Sirens. Desi, you okay? Hello, Eden. How are you? Okay. Okay, so I'm really excited. I very much enjoyed this book, and on my second read so far, I still really like it. I did not add my notes on Discord because I just got, my work has just been wildly busy. So I have my tabs, and I had a few from this week. Yes. So Eden, this is the first full week for both of our kids, so we understand that. And if everyone didn't get to chapter 8, maybe we just pause and see what people got to. Like, we understand that because last week both Desi and I, we had birthdays. 2 of the kids had birthdays, the start of school, and so I know it's been very busy for everyone. I only read to chapter 6. Thank you. So if we're okay, we'll just stop at chapter 6 since Desi didn't get to that. I'm okay with spoilers if you want to talk about through 8. That's fine. Just didn't have time to read last week because it was very busy and I was just exhausted. And then today I planned to read this afternoon, but I fell asleep on the couch. Oh, that's fine. I normally don't nap because I never have time. But I have 2 kids in school now, and so everything has changed. So I only have one young kid at home, one toddler. And I was just sitting and we were playing and I crashed. I get that. Maybe it's chapter 4. Okay. I'm fine with talking through 8. That is fine. Well, it looks like most people didn't get through the full chapter 8 from 1 to 8. So maybe we just pause in the middle is fine. And then, or to chapter 6, whichever is fine. Delia, so this book, my first read, so this time I'm reading it in the chunks for the separation, like chapters 1 to 8, like I stopped, but I've already read it, and I read it it was not a full day, it was one sitting I finished this book. So I understand that. So some new viewers, Sophia, hello. Just as a reminder, Definitely Readers Book Club, we focus on books that have deaf or hard of hearing characters or focused on ASL representation in the books. Or books that are written by deaf and hard of hearing authors. So this is a hearing author, Mary Mecham. I think she is an indie author, if I remember right. But at the very beginning of the book, she has this huge note, and it is so so good. So she explains about deaf culture, ASL, how it will be represented in the book. She thanks her deaf sensitivity readers. So you can clearly see from the very beginning of the book that she really made sure that her representation was as true as possible, being a hearing person. So I would have to say that compared to other books we have read, I've not really been impressed with their descriptions at the beginning, their author notes. But this one was very expanded on of what to expect, how to read it, what the signs are, what the talking is, and I really liked that. And it immediately interested me on reading it. And also, I mean, she didn't know, it's like she knew she was not doing ASL grammar. She said that, or sign language grammar, because it's not ASL. Yeah, gloss. No. I'm saying she didn't do like store go, right? Gloss, yeah. But it's also not ASL, and she specifically said that it's not ASL, it's sign language that is made up, is what they say. Anyway, but you can see very clearly which dialogue is signed. Yes. And she did italics and then no quotes. So it is very clear. And also there is more than one deaf character in the book. Yes, the other character is a side character, but like so far her best friend. Okay, we will get there, but the pub conversations where they're like, oh, they're such a cute little couple, and they're like, no, we're not dating. You have notes about that part? Because I've experienced that. My best friend from college, I knew him a while ago. We recently reconnected in college, or we reconnected in college. He's gay, but no one knew about it but me. But we were best friends and we were just hanging out and signing and everything, and it was fun and joy. People were like, "Oh, y'all dating? Oh, you're so cute." Oh, no, we're not dating. We're just hanging out all the time. We're signing and we're enjoying our time together. And it's just, people think deaf should date deaf only. No. Well, I think specifically in this situation, they were the only two deaf people in, oh, thank you for the rose, in that town. And it makes sense, yeah. So like they're the only two deaf people, and so they hang out and they enjoy each other, but they're friends. They have no they're not wanting. So it's funny for that. Her mom's like, "Oh, are you two dating?" No. So yes, we've only met a few times so far, but the relationship that the parents have, that the brother has with Treva. Okay, so we should probably start talking about the book. Okay, so this is my book, so I already know it, and okay. Yes, but you know how much harder it is to simcom. Okay, so if you want, that's fine. Go ahead. Yeah, I don't care. Okay, go ahead. I will voice. So I've already read this book a few months ago, and she's just like, "Oh, it's champ. It's probably the best deaf representation that I've seen so far." Luckily, all of you guys voted for this book, and so we're really excited to read it. So far, it's immediately interesting with the writing. It's good explanation, a good showing clearly about ASL, which is going to be ASL in the book. Treva, she is deaf, and she is a woman. She is a blacksmith. And so she works and makes weapons and all kinds of things. And in the town, they live on an island, and the water obviously surrounds it. But what happens is they have creatures in the water, sirens, who are killing sailors. Why? So they're trying to fish and they're trying to get food to feed the people, and they can't because the sirens will sing their song, and they will jump off the ship and then drown. So many times they try to go, and then later they tried earplugs, and she was fixing, she was working in the forge and the weapons. Oh, well, I don't remember the name of it. Some kind of word for the ship, a weapon for the ship. And so I need you to fix it. And she goes, fine. She fixes it. She's very proud of her work. She does work alone. She does not like to hang out with people. And her family is hearing, and they do sign. And her brother signs and does interpret for her. Her dad, he does sign actually fluently. Like he's good at it. He's just a quiet, strict, like a stern, like military man. So he doesn't really talk a lot. But in chapter 5. Oh, maybe you're not there yet because he does a full chapter talking with her about things. I think it might be, yes, but also that he didn't want to put her in a situation where she would have to save their lives. Like, he's like, no father wants to do that. So Triva is deaf, and her family is hearing, and they sign, and they seem to communicate well with her, which is interesting because her family signs, but most of the townspeople don't. They know some signs, but she always has a, it's a slate. Yes, thank you. Like a writing slate. And she brings it places. And so if her brother is not there, she has, there's like no interpreting. She has a way to communicate. It is interesting. I don't think that her best friend's voices either. I think he's only signed too, if I remember right. Yeah, they only sign. Facial expression. I like Sterling. He's funny. I like their relationship, their friendship. Most importantly, things that I forgot is they are part of the royal family. Her father decided to withdraw and he worked in the military instead. And they live a normal life, but Triva became like her dad and works in blacksmith and follows in his footsteps, and her mother does not like that. You need to be a lady. You need to be polite. And she goes, I don't want to do that. I want to work for myself. And I think she's badass. Yeah. She's really cool. I thought she was a strong female character. Like, I'm gonna, because I do think they need to be careful to not make her not like too strong, but also a person who can accept help. Because right now she doesn't want help. She wants to do it all herself. And I think part of that comes from being deaf and feeling like being told you can't do something. Okay, we're not going to say that quote for now because it's in chapter 8. We're going to hold on that quote. Hope, yeah. Triva sounds like someone that I want to be friends with, yes. Hope also said she's a strong female character, but like borderline tropey. Tropey. And could be like over compensating. Yeah. But Eden, I agree with that. She feels like she has to be a strong base, like front, because she feels like she has to do that. Cool. Soul said, this book sounds amazing. I'm studying to become a deaf autistic community. I love to read this book. So the book can be found, it is on Amazon. They have a Kindle book, physical book, and I think there's an audiobook too. And also, I think that the author sells it on her website as well. So, um, I love how Treva's very blunt too. This very strong, blunt, and her quote, she said, "Why should I apologize for those people?" Yeah. That I like that. I was like, wow. I'm gonna put that in the back of my head. There was a line when her mom came up to her and says, "Are you finished with your project?" And she goes, "Go eat with us." And she's like, "Wait," and she's discussing, and she said, "Be ladylike, do all of this stuff." Well, no, I already agreed to wear skirts under my pants, like over my pants, and I don't want to follow. I want to do all of this. And she said, "You need to be more like the people here and talk with the people." And I can't remember what her mom said. And that's when she said, "Why should I feel like I have to apologize for this?" Yeah. She said people feel intimidated by you because you're not socializing with them. She's like, good. So I do, okay. So the interesting thing, I do feel like this is some deaf experience, not everyone, but some, in that they don't love to hang around hearing people. They prefer only deaf people. And then there's other deaf who love to socialize with hearing people and like teach sign, and like they want to connect how they can. And I feel like Treva's in the first like group. She's like, "I don't care." Like, I have my people, and that's all that matters. um and when she is commenting, talking about how people say, "Oh my gosh, I know the sign A, B," and she just looks at them. Yeah. I'm suffering through it. She's like, why? And I understand that really well, because that is a very normal hearing, like typical experience. At the same time, I also feel like, oh, good job, keep going, and encouraging them. I understand. Bothering them. I know all this. Yeah. So, I see both perspectives. But I want to say this. When you meet a person who is speaking Spanish or French or something, and you hear them speaking a different language, do you walk up and say, "Hi, can I practice my Spanish, my French?" No, you don't. Now, there are some places that you can practice, yes. And like when you go to the country, obviously you want to try to practice the language you're learning. So I understand that. But you don't just, walk up to a random person and say, "I know my ABCs. A, B, C." You don't do that. You don't say "a, b, c, d, d, e." You don't say it in French. No. Like, hello. Sorry, that's my soapbox. Teacher said, "I'm an interpreter here. I love and following you now. Welcome." So Heidi, did you see Heidi's comment? That was a good example. Yeah. Actually, I'm looking for that quote related to this. 1 second. You can go ahead. Okay. So Triva is also very, very sarcastic. And she's one of the first things she said was hearing people and their constant like jumpiness. I thought that was funny. So if you've seen my book review, because I've already did this because I was just so excited about this book and I didn't realize that the group was gonna vote for it. One second. So if you've seen my book review, I have a lot of quotes that I've already like given there. So I'm gonna try not to do the same quote. But one of the things, hello. One of the things is I like that she says politeness would have meant letting me focus on my task at hand. And she says, I count myself fortunate that I didn't have to listen to all the superficial chatter about hearing that all hearing people engage in. And I felt that because like having a person just always and like, bother you. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Desi, did you find your quote? I found the quote, but I'm not sure. So the quote says, hearing people who are learning sign language often search out validation from the deaf individuals. They knew to expect praise from the hearing and the deaf community for their benefit. My language has no meaning to give to it. I feel like they view me as a pitiful project. My language is good for the heart. And I understand her perspective. I feel like people pity, oh, poor pity you, I know sign, I want you to praise me, I want you to tell me I did a good job. Oh, you mean all the clout chasers on TikTok? Right on the nose for that. Okay, we're not gonna get on the soapbox here. We're not gonna do that. But if you're using ASL to get your light and feel like better about yourself on social media, bye. We see a lot of this. Now, we want people to learn sign. We're not saying that. We want people to learn sign correctly, not fake sign. So one person, I'm not gonna talk about any names or anything, they were learning sign and then they posted on social media and said, I know sign, I'm gonna teach, and she's signing wrong. And many people who are deaf were like, hey, that is wrong, that's wrong sign, that's wrong. And then she continued to ignore and refuse to change the sign, and she just kept signing and she's still teaching wrong. And then people noticed, stop, that's not signing right, where are you learning from? So she has blocked all of and deleted comments. So she's still teaching. Anyways, we're not gonna be preaching about it because we have already done that, but that comment is a great one, that quote, because it just, shows a perspective. Like, this is my language. This is not for your benefit, it's for my benefit. So one more to continue with that one. It says, when the hearing people give an afterthought of including me, it was a convicted for them so that they can boast, it's for their ego. So she was like ready to shut them down if they are egotistical. And I'm like, they get a big head. She has no patience for me, personally, for me. If someone comes up to me, I will stand and listen and say, good job. I will immediately, where are you learning? Where are you learning? Where from? Where'd you learn from? It's computer, ASL teacher. And if they didn't, I will give you resources. Yeah. Good. These ones are good, and encourage to give them information. Because if you don't, and you ignore me, you're not going to change anything. But if you want to change, and then you have to stand and say good job to give them this information. It's not about boasting when you're looking for validation. It's more like, it's nice that you're learning ASL. Cool. I'm excited, but I want you to know where you should learn from. Make sure you are learning correctly. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, the funny thing is that quote that you commented, like just now, that one, I had it. I had it tabbed. Hello. We're looking at the comments 1 minute. Tobias. You seem new here, so welcome. We have a book club. It's called DEAFinitely Readers. So we talk about books that are written by deaf and hard of hearing authors or have deaf and hard of hearing characters that are in the books. And we discuss about the deaf representation. So this is deaf friendly. Deaf friendly account. So we sign. We don't really do gang signs or anything. It's ASL. And I voice off, so you can come on and join. And we did not introduce ourselves. Normally we do at the beginning, but I'm KT James. I'm hard of hearing. I have hearing aids. I am simcomming, which is signing and speaking simultaneously. And then also I am voice interpreting for Desi. And hello, I am Desi. I am deaf. I am only signing, and she's voice interpreting for me. I am typically voice off here. So I can't speak, but it is my choice not to speak on live, and we prefer to sign. And we do both on live. We have simcomm, voice interpreting, and signing because we want to be friendly with and accessible to hearing and deaf communities. So that's. But everyone is welcome. If you don't know ASL, that is absolutely fine. So Haley, we do have on our website, which is www.DEAFinitely definitelyreaders.com. It's in our bios. We have a whole list of resources of where we would suggest learning from, like who are good deaf creators to follow as well. There's a lot who do teach online, and then also there are a few colleges who do online classes. And then we have where you can practice, like how you can practice online If you know a person who is studying at the same time as you, there is an app we both use. It's called Marco Polo. And it does, like, you can practice signing there. It does video messaging. And so we do have a whole list of resources, and actually, I think in my bio, my links, I have the resources there too, and Desi does as well. So I think we added it all three places to make sure. And if you are just overwhelmed, don't be. Just start in your local area. If you have a library, ask if they have ASL classes, and if not, sometimes churches offer, or your local schools and colleges, or your community might have it. And the best place to learn from is having a deaf teacher and socializing. And the deaf community typically has events like a silent dinner, coffee hour. Sometimes they do bigger events. If there is like a deaf institute in your area, they'll do like trainings for jobs or a lot of different things. Like we did, I think it was decorating like Christmas ornaments last year. And actually soon the local one will have an event about weather here. Hello. Not Haley. Lingva. Yeah. So two things. Linvano. That app. It is really good. It is accurate, and that is a great one to use. The second thing is, thank you, Heather. She said, new. Whew. Wow. I'm happy to have you here. So we do have a Discord channel. And we discuss a lot there. We have information there as well. You can join us. And for the Discord channel, we do have the books are separated out by chapters. So like what we plan to discuss online, like chapters 1 to 8 for tonight, though I think we're only going to go through chapter 6 tonight. But we have like sections where you can add your thoughts before and see other people's thoughts before or after, depending on what you want to do. We also have like an area you can ask questions about like deaf culture, signing. When we get to do author interviews, we have an area for like questions that you want to ask the author, so we'll add them to our list. We have like your favorite sign. One of my favorites is sarcastic. I love that sign. Oh, and also sea turtle. That's a fun, yeah. Turtle this way. And then this one is like more sea turtle. So anyway, you can join there. However you need to do it. And we're happy to answer questions. Yes, we are happy to answer. I've been a little bit behind recently, and I apologize. I'm trying to catch back up. So hopefully soon. Oh, sarcastic. Yeah. And another one is cool. The snob. So snob. That one's really fun. Oh, what is it? I had I do love this one, like putting it in the back of your mind. And it means keep in mind, or I'm gonna like save it for later to remember. Jinx, you owe me a drink. So that one's really fun. Like there's a lot of different ones. Oh, I'm trying to remember. I did one recently that I was like, oh, I forgot how much I like that sign. Anyway, yeah, the turtle is really fun, and then sea turtle, yeah. Oh, dolphin, dolphin, yeah, yeah, dolphin, yeah. Now it's more like, I was like, I thought it was, and I was like, no. Whale is fun. Whale, that one is fun. Woo. I think my son likes that one, if I remember right. Yes, I've not heard or seen their song yet. Oh, Big Ocean. About their, I read about them. I sent that to you recently. Yeah. They're K-pop, but they're deaf or hard of hearing. So like all of them are deaf or hard of hearing, and they sign and they add their sign language into their songs, and, or to the dance of their songs. They also do sing. Hmm. They do sing. So I think they're coming to Atlanta. Maybe that'd be cool if the deaf all go there, right? Right. One of our friends loves K-pop. So, oh, did anyone see the K-pop Huntrix? Oh, they just finished. Hmm. They finished. I thought it was soon. Okay, well, maybe the next time. But yes, so I've watched some of their videos and they're really cool. I like them. Okay, so where we're at in the book, we'll keep reading comments too, but where there is, so in the book, so you meet Triva, who's deaf. You see her signing, you see her brother and her parents. Gage is her brother. You meet her cousin, Korth. Now, he does not sign he's a lot. He's not really good. He's slow. And so normally Triva just, yeah, he finger spells a lot. I laughed about that because I always recommend that you finger spell first because it's good practice, repetition, receptive and repetition practice. And sometimes with my deaf friends, if they know sign, I will just finger spell. Do you see that? A long sentence, just finger spelling it all fast. So people don't know what I'm saying. So, so I laughed about that. So it's an interesting thing is I will be driving and like, because as good practice, it's like just when I'm driving, as I pass like a sign, I will finger spell. I do the same thing. And I still do that. Or if I'm reading a book and I really like the name, or I'm trying to figure out how to say the name, I will finger spell it first. Um, so me, I'll be just standing or sitting and I'm thinking and I'll just, yeah, same. Finger spelling, just talking to myself. Um, so just not signing, just finger spelling. I do that. I need to do blah, 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 whatever it is. So it's funny. So anyway, but Treva just hands him, the slate to write down what he needs. And then right now you're not in the meat of the story, but you see what's happening. Like you see that she has built like a big thing to basically help unalive the sirens that are keeping the ships from, and really they're not just trying to get food for the people, but also they're trying to go to different countries and like sell their things, like do their trades. And then also you find out that Korth is engaged, but he can't get to his princess. I thought it was a fun little addition. It does set it up because technically this book is the second in her fairy tale like change story. So the first book I think was Hook and Tink. It was a Peter Pan. And then the next one will be, I think, is Korth, and I don't remember specifically what it is, but they are standalone. So they're standalones. You don't have to read one to understand another one. So Korth is a little bit annoying, but that's her cousin, and so she is used to him. But with Sterling, okay, so when they're at the pub and they're just chatting away and then Korth walks up, she knew, okay, great, he's coming. So she felt like, not like hate him, but more like annoyed. Well, she knew that he wanted something. He was being nice just to get something from her. I did like how like Sterling said, yes, she'll go. And it's just kind of a funny part. So, but anyway, so we meet Treva. She builds something to unalive the sirens. I don't remember the name of it. And then, oh, and that was funny. Wait. Oh, lacerator. Yeah. So that was funny when they tested it, and yeah, lacerator. I'm trying to think how it's said. When they tested it and then everyone like jumped or like ducked because it was loud. So and Treva is just she just looks around and she goes, oh, hearing people. I like the author explaining that the deaf character is looking, like you just said, and also the next scene where we'll soon discuss, I like how she is writing, oh, and realizing what happens around her. So it was a good description. So an interesting point. I'm happy you said that. But in the beginning, in the author's note, she said, you will notice that there is no sound in this book because my main character is deaf. And so she notices people jumping or like their faces. And so, or, you know, like they are and about to jump off the ship. Okay, so that's where the next thing is they are on the ship to test out the lacerator. And the sailors all have plugs in their ears hoping it will help. And then all of a sudden they notice that there's like just, you know, like they're just like walking and like slowly moving. And so Sterling and Treva are trying to get their like attention, and they end up like handcuffing and like shackling them, but they missed the prince. They missed Korth, and he jumps. Korth. He jumps off the ship and dives in, and then Sterling like follows, yeah, and like saves him. And he's like, oh shit, and like trying to get him. And so Treva is unaliving and like, but they realize at the end that the only reason why Treva and Sterling were fine is because they couldn't hear. Yes, they're in a trance. So Hope, I don't know what it sounds like, but later there might be more description of the siren song. That's a great question. It sounds like nothing. But yeah, for the hearing people, I don't know. I assume it would be like hauntingly beautiful and want to manipulate the ethereal. So have you heard any of the like siren songs on like TikTok that are like sounds you can add, Hope? Because I feel like it would be similar to that, maybe. I don't know. So while I was reading, I had one point I did want to, if I was on the island, I'm deaf. All of these people are hearing, except for me, and you expect me to save you? I'd be planning for, it sounds dumb, but I would be like, you need to become deaf to find a way for you to become deaf. And then like a bomb or something. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that word. To make you become deaf. Damaged your hearing. Yeah. Well, no. I think I said that I said that word, and I, because you no, but I don't want to get like, again, I don't want to pop up that says you're limited because of your words. Anyway, like damaged your hearing. Why not? That'd be perfect solution. So I'm curious. Why do you think that Treva feels like she's the only one who can help? Like, I understand she's deaf, so she really is one of the only people who could survive through the ship, right? But what are your thoughts about why the sirens are unaliving people? Like, why? Like, what are they doing it for? Why do you think Treva is taking the burden, the responsibility to make sure that she does, like, she takes that responsibility of unaliving all these sirens? So she did mention that seeing everything really made her think almost lost her dad, almost lost her Korth, her cousin, Sterling. All this time I'm making these weapons, but I've never used them because I can't, like, it's stuck in her mind. Do you feel like she feels like, how am I going to help? I have to do this alone because someone goes with me. I will lose time trying to save them, to chain them, while I have to focus on unaliving the sirens. Makes sense, but do you think that she feels like because technically she is a part of the royal family, it's her responsibility? But her brother, Gage, is not. He doesn't care. He's funny. I like him. Ooh. Hope that's good. Ooh. She's tired of Taro's food. Yeah. Because she's tired of eating the same food. So, Hope. You're on the right track. I think I actually, in my book review, I mentioned it. So I'm sure you understand that. I do like your comment that Treva wants to be accepted, like, and she feels like if she helps, she'll be more accepted in the community, not just looked at like she's the deaf person there. You know, she's a part of the royal family, but she's a person, not just a deaf person. That makes sense. Yeah, duty. Yeah. Yes. So while she and Sterling are discussing and she's asking him, I don't need your help. Come on. We have to fight the sirens together. He's like, no, I refuse. I am not doing that. And just what she expected. She expected that answer. She said, I can't sit back and watch people die. I thought you didn't like people. Why now? Why are you doing this, Sterling? Because I have never understood Oh, okay. So just because I don't want to sit back and talk about random crap all the day, like, I'm willing to do something about it and roll up my sleeves. So I don't just because I don't care about conversations doesn't mean I don't want to help. Yeah. That. So it is interesting because also I do feel like she is a better fit to do the like sailing herself and the unaliving the sirens herself, but Sterling does finance, right? Like he does like finance, like counting, like finance, right? Bookkeeper, finance. It's the same thing. Counting money. Counting money. I know, but I was like counting money. Accountant. Okay, so after Sterling says no, I'm not doing that again. Goodbye. Sorry, can't help you. She's like, fine. And she goes to the queen, her aunt, and everyone is there. You have to go to the queen first and talk with her about it and get approval. And I need to do this alone. I want to look out for them. She goes, okay, fine. And your dad said yes, and he said yes, and she said go ahead and train. So, and that was a big thing is yes, she made like the weapons, but she had to change and make it more for herself, not for a bigger man, because she wasn't strong enough to really do the lacerator easily a lot of times. And then also like her cousin wanted her to train to make sure if she had to fight, she could. What'd you say? Sign language? Somebody in comments said wrong sign language. I was impressed with Sterling jumping and saving Korth, yes. Great. Oh, I just saw, so Delia, you said that so it's an arranged marriage. I don't remember what it's about, but now I'm curious. Ooh, I missed this comment. Can the hearing people remember that was important to the siren culture? Like, remember that they got like they got like the call from the sirens? Yes, they can remember. They don't remember what it feels like, but they woke up and they realized, oh shit, like they tried to get us, like, so yes, and it happened twice. So she was like, okay, let's go home. Stay, I will do this. So where I'm at, I didn't read chapter 7 and 8. So I am at where she said, I have to go train, and then I don't like sword play because I can't sign. And I was like, I'm just thinking about that. How would you yourself be like signing? And that does bring up the question of this. So we know it's not ASL. they're not doing ASL, right? They're doing their island sign language. But does that mean it's more like BSL, which is more two-handed? So like you have A, B, C, D, you know, your alphabet is different. So they have to have both hands to sign, because I feel like unless you have to, do you have to use both hands for the sword? Or can you do one? Like, because if it's more like ASL, you can sign with one hand, but if both your hands are needed for the sword fighting. So I'm curious, I have that question. I don't know. But so far, I do really like this book. I feel like it's it has some fun deaf culture, like, things that have happened, like people coming up and A, B, C, thank you. You know, like that kind of thing. Oh yeah, two-handed, okay. Oh, maybe. Hope says depends on what kind of sword. That makes sense because sometimes you do see it two-handed, so maybe. Or fencing is a lighter sword. Yes, but you wouldn't be fencing against, it'd be a heavier sword, yeah. It would be heavier and like pounding. Okay. I would not want to sign when I'm fighting. Unless I have something to say like, bitch. Or bitch. Like, we're done. Yeah. I'm imagining a broadsword. Okay. It's just funny to me, like, she was worried about not signing while sword play. You'll be in danger. You don't have time to sign. But if maybe she's thinking about, like, if her brother is there or her cousin is there and she's needing to sign to them in the middle of a fight and she can't use her, like, she can't sign, maybe that, I don't know. That was funny. Like, you let your sword do the talking. That's true. That's true. Hope. All right, so we're not gonna go. Oh, I did like Eden's laughing at me because I'm like sword playing. I'm trying to imagine. So I did like at the end it says chapter 6. So we're gonna stop on chapter 6 just to make sure. And they are trying to get different clothes for her to have to like stronger, so that like if she's in danger, maybe I don't know, like arming clothes, I don't know. Anyway, so her cousin, so Cord said like a helmet, like a helmet, and she goes, and limit my visibility? No, thank you. Um, that's interesting. Yeah. She said she didn't. Yeah, it was heavy, but yes. And so she said, and limit my visibility. She goes, she said, I don't think so. Um, and then Gage, her brother, said, I don't think we could craft a helmet big enough for your head. I mean, it's a funny little addition, but I like that it was added about limiting visibility because she was needing to see. That's reality. Yeah, that's real life. Real life in a deaf person. Which is really fun when you can't see, like me, or hear in the mornings because I have my glasses off, right? It's really fun. My husband comes up and says, put your glasses on so I can lip read. I don't wear contacts. It depends. Not often. So when I was younger, I mostly had contacts in because I played sports and it was harder with glasses falling off and that kind of thing. So when I went to college, my eyes are really dry now. And so it hurts to use like contacts. So I will, for like to go to the beach or to the pool, that kind of thing, I will have them in, but it's like 3 hours at a time, maybe one day at a time, and I can't do it 2 days in a row because my eyes just can't handle that now. So since college, it's been glasses most of the time. Before college, weekends would have glasses, and then weeks, like, you know, normal school days, I would have my contacts in. Because I'm curious, I was gonna ask, I've seen you most of the time with glasses, yeah. And I was like, you can't take your glasses off, you can't lip read. Can you see that sign? So I can read to here. After here, it's all blurry. So it's not clear. So like this is all blurry. So I need my glasses to lip read, and if you're closer than that, that's fine. Like if you're right here, I'm fine. Like my kids like come up to like here and they're fine. But if you're at the door and you're trying to like wake me up or tell me something first thing in the morning, it's the light will be flashing and it's glasses on. Okay. So for deaf, like us, lip reading. You're wearing your glasses, I don't, but we both have to lip read, and that's, yeah, stress on the eyes, yeah. So it's exhausting. And not just stress on our eyes, but also our, like, trying to process, okay, we saw this word, it means what? Or this shape. So you don't want to miss and fill in that word. And hearing aids help, yes, but it doesn't always, as listening fatigue is what it's called. I grew up with my hearing aids my whole life until I was pregnant with my second child. I just got sick often with the hearing aids, and so I took them off. And I don't wear them that often since then. If I want to wear my hearing aids, while I do, and I wear them all day, at that night, I will just take them off and just leave them and take a listening break. A hearing break. A hearing break. I'm just exhausted. And it's just a lot on us. So for me, I work from home, yes, but most of my job is like Zoom meetings with people who English is not their first language. So I have captions, I have my hearing aids in. So for, 8 hours a day, I have my hearing aids in. And so at nights, like tonight, I don't have them in because I don't have to hear myself. Um, so like at nighttime, like as soon as 5, like I just off. So when my kids are home from school or dinner time, like I'm lip reading only. Like I'm not using my hearing aids normally. And then most weekends, most of the time on the weekends, I don't have them on. It depends on what I'm doing. Like tomorrow night, I have a fun parent teacher meeting, so I will have to have them on for longer tomorrow, which means for Friday, it'll be a fun day. Um, but I did get new ones recently and I love them. I'm not saying I don't. But it's just a lot of, they're not a cure. Like they don't fix everything. They're not perfect. They are better. But, and at nighttime, like if I know that I don't really have to talk, I have my glasses off. And then normally I trip because I can't see. Oh, my vision is worse. It's just, I hope it's not gonna get a lot worse. From where it was 3 years ago to now, it's gotten bad. That's okay. It's life. Last week, last week my daughter had a birthday at a skating rink. Normal 8-year-old skating rink party. Okay, cool. I did not know it was going to be loud there. No, I had my hearing aids on, okay. But yeah, it was loud, but it didn't bother me. What bothered me was it was dark. Oh, right. I forgot about that. And my family was talking and I was just like, what? What? Well, okay, so in both of our families, if you're new here, they don't sign. So, like our immediate families, well, like her husband, my husband, our kids sign, yes, but parents, siblings, nieces, nephews, like, no. So, Stark, hearing aids on. And I really can't, because I am focusing on lip reading. I'm not focusing on hearing. And I was just like, my eyes were like, whew. And then after everything finished, and the party finished, and we went home, and I took them off, I was exhausted. So my daughter was at just water park. So I couldn't wear my hearing aids. Oh no. Because it was water, right? I mean, I was fine. I just ignored what I didn't want to try to lip read. Anyway, Desi does have a fun conversation that she had with the person who walked up and asked her a really dumb question. Can you read? I'm sorry. Okay. This is not about the book, but it just cracked me up, like, when she sent me this message. Okay. It was like a couple days ago. And I was on the way to pick up my kids from school, and I needed to stop to get some gas. Okay. And my youngest daughter was with me. She's 3, and the other ones are in school. And I was like, oh, it's time to go. There's a long line. But I had first got to get gas. So while I'm getting gas, a woman, a younger girl, just walks up to me, and I'm just like, what? Because normally when you're out and about, you're very aware of your surroundings if someone approaches you, right? And so that's me, and I'm just like, And I stopped, and they're just talking away, and I'm like, excuse me, I'm deaf, I can't hear you. And she's like, okay. Can you read? And I said, yeah, I can lip read. And I'm voicing and signing at the same time. And she said, no, can you read? Yes, I can read. Why? And she goes, oh. And on her phone, she takes out her phone and does her notes app. And while I was looking over her, and I noticed that she was Mormon, she had a sticker that said something, and it dressed like a Mormon. And I went, oh, okay. And I'm standing, and she texts me, and she shows me her phone. Hi, I wanted to invite you to our church on Sunday and all this. And so I typed back, and I said, thank you, but if I go to church, I will need an interpreter. So I was trying to have a conversation, like, finish the conversation with that. And then she was like looking, and another girl like walks up to her, and they're just talking away. And she goes, okay. And she goes, I don't know about an ASL interpreter. I am new to this church, but if you come, I'm sure, promise you will feel the Spirit. And the other girl said something. I said, you're beautiful. She signed, you're beautiful. And I said, thank you. And I texted her back, and she said, what's your name? And I'm like, dumb me. I gave her my name and my number. Carrie said, no, don't do that. I panicked. I was like, go away. I was alone. I have to go pick up my kid. So anyways, God bless you. And then the next day, on Sunday, she texted me and said, hey, I can't find an interpreter, but I promise you, if you come, you will feel the Spirit. With a smile. And I said, and I'm thinking in my head, how to respond. I deleted it, but it says something like, hey, thank you for contacting and looking for an interpreter. Thank you, but no, I need an ASL interpreter. The accessibility is really important to me. If I need to know about the word or any information, I will need an ASL interpreter. Thank you. No response. I just pout like a banter back, yeah. I'm like, why would I go somewhere, a church, an event, whatever, and you promise me I'm gonna feel comfortable if I don't have no interpreter? I will sit there and do twiddling my thumbs. Like, what am I gonna do? So anyway, my point was, I can't believe that she asked, can you read? To be fair, she seemed really young. I think she was maybe 18 or something. She looked young. I was just like, oh, I was thinking, oh, you're actually people out there who have no idea about deaf culture. Or not even deaf culture, just about deaf people, and that they have the ability to do everything a hearing person can do, but hear. So only difference. We can read, we can write, we can drive, we can have sex, we can have kids. Oh, um, my husband told me I should have said, no, I can't read. She would have laughed like faster. Anyways, there's a couple comments that were, yes, so Amy said, it's sad how uneducated some hearing people are. Yes. Yeah. Um, oh, that's true. So Hope thought, because you know, like how some places will do like a braille. Desi, Heather made me laugh. So Hope said maybe they confuse like blind with deaf, because some places do like a braille like menu, yeah, but I understand that, but I was driving, I was pumping my gas. I'm not blind. Okay. Okay, that's true. So Heather said uh, about language deprivation. People are confusing, yeah. So, and my town is small, so I don't normally see Mormon people. In the city, yeah. I've had Jehovah's Witness and Mormon people knock on my door when I lived in the city, because Jehovah's Witness people mostly um, harass deaf people. So I moved to a small town and there's been nothing here. We've never seen it. This is the first time it's happened. Heather did have a good comment about, like, yes, like language deprivation can stop people from really reading. You're right. I'm not saying that they can't. I just, maybe the first like assumption should not be that they can't read. But yes, and that can happen not just to deaf people having language deprivation, that can also happen to other people who have, like, hearing people can have language deprivation too. Not as bad, but they can. Yeah. Oh, just about language deprivation. Anyway, it depends on deaf individual growing up, but most mature deaf people can read. If they want to have a job, normally they have to be able to read. So I will say, oh, I have one more question. What do you feel like? How do you feel about her brother Gage doing a lot of the interpreting? I feel like it's a lot of responsibility. Like her parents, oh, you can sign for us and you don't have to. Makes me think, in my family, always said, oh, you can speak, you just lip read, you can just lip read, you don't have to sign because you know how to speak. So it's similar to Gage knowing sign, and so he goes with her to interpret, but at the same time, I don't think anyone in the town, in the island, knows sign other than Sterling and her parents, her brother. I think a few people know some sign, like, enough, like basic, yeah. So I feel like it's almost like his job, like to interpret. I don't think it's a bad thing to have him interpret because like when he's with his cut like with Korth and the training, like it's not a bad thing. Like it feels just like joking. Like they're just hanging out and training and joking. Like it feels comfortable. But also then you have them on like the ship and he was interpreting and I'm just like that was in the audience in the speech, the very first two chapters. And she was bored and Gage was interpreting. So I feel like it's more like his job, which is better if it's not just family interpreting. So it's in chapter 8. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. So like I do feel like Treva doesn't try to make him feel like he has to interpret, which is why she has the slate like with her and just brings it to like big events like he interprets, but for just like everyday conversations, she tries to figure out a way that she can communicate. Yeah. So Amy, we're happy you're here too. So I wonder, Gage will we hear his perspective, feel his responsibility interpreting for his sister? Um, yeah, so I'm also curious if he interprets. Does he interpret for Sterling? It's not his book, his story, so we don't really see a lot of Sterling. Oh, did that spoil? There's a reason why. There's a reason why. Oh, nothing bad happens to Sterling. He's fine. Yeah. No, he's fine. But there's a reason why you don't see a lot soon. That's all I'll say. No. No, just wait. It's nothing bad. Not really. Okay, we have a different question. So right now, she wants to go it alone. So my guess is she is training and she's ready and she goes, but she's alone. So Gage does not go with her. No interpreters, nothing. She is alone. Just her. Interesting. Because when you sail, the siren's out there and you can't hear the storm coming or anything else. So in chapter 7 and 8, the one of the reasons why is training so much. Also, they're building her a boat, like a ship for her alone. I guess, but it like for her to be able to do it herself, to make sure that she doesn't need to have a person helping her with the ship. So that's part of the reason why it's taking a long time and why she's training and making sure she's strong enough. Heather. Yeah, that's funny. I'm trying not to tell, sorry. It's not a bad spoiler. It's fine. So Casey, hi, welcome. Yes, so Definitely Readers Book Club, which is what we co-host. We read books with deaf and hard of hearing characters. This book has 2 deaf characters and it has sign language representation. So we also have read books with just like sign language representation. The other thing is we will read books that are written by deaf and hard of hearing authors. So they may not have deaf and hard of hearing characters, but most deaf and hard of hearing authors tend to write characters that they can relate to. So 2 books that Desi just showed are ones that we've read. Quiet Beautiful Things by Samantha Christie, that has it's a romantic, like a rom-com. It has a deaf woman with a hearing man, and then there is a young 4-year-old language deprived deaf girl. The man finds out he has a daughter, and that is her mentor. So that one's a really sweet little love story. They fall in love. The man learns sign language. It's just really sweet. And this one is The Daisy Chain Reaction. This one is written by a hard of hearing author, AC Toy. The main character is not deaf. She's hearing. But her sister, Violet, is deaf, and she marries a deaf man. So, and they're in the book a lot. Her second book that she is writing now will be released next year, I think, is Violet's story. And Desi is reading it right now as a beta reader. So that... And we've read more than that, yes. And actually on our website, you can see the books that we have read already, but we typically vote for one book. We get 3 book choices on Discord, vote for one, we read it, we separate it out by like chunks, like chapters. So today we were doing chapters 1 to 8, but we're gonna stop at 6 because most people have had a busy start to August with school going back, birthdays for both of our kids, me falling asleep on the couch. So next week we will read, we'll do chapters 7 to 16 because it's 8 chapters because there's 32 chapters in this book. So next week we'll be doing 17, excuse me. 7 to 17 and discussing what we like. On the Discord, we do have like where you can put notes down about your thoughts as you're reading it. I read this book earlier in the summer, so I have my tabs here. I need to add them to the Discord. I just haven't had time. But I'm doing a reread, and it's been an enjoyable. So we recently did Desi and I had read it already, and we did a reread. And we found ourselves like, it's okay the second time. But so far, I've really enjoyed it. I found, excuse me, I found more that I like this time. So, you know, it's been good so far for the second read. Good. But before we go, we do want to share with everyone, right now I'm on pausing on the book. It pissed me off. This book is Chalet Love in Alaska by Elsie. I don't know if they're deaf or hearing, but this does have a deaf character who's dating a hearing man. But the point is, I found out she became deaf by a car accident. It damaged her hearing. Which is fine. You're still deaf. That's not the point. There's a reason behind why Desi started it that way. That's not it. However you lose your hearing is fine. You're a part of the community. I'm just gonna say that now. Okay. So she knows some sign. She is learning. And I don't know if she wears hearing aids. Right? Oh, no. Not yet. Okay. So she can't remember what sound sounds like anymore and all of this kind of stuff. So later she meets a hearing man who is an ex-hockey player, a former hockey player, and all this stuff. So they are dating, and he finds out that she wants surgery, but she can't afford it. Surgery. Cochlear implant surgery. Yeah. You thought. It's not? It didn't describe it? Okay. Later, the man secretly searches and finds a doctor and doesn't tell who from, and then she got an email. So she was talking with her coworker and they were signing and everything. Oh, you guys tell me all about your boyfriend. Having a conversation. And she pulls out her phone and she's looking at an email. She got an email from the doctor and said, "You are approved for this surgery, blah, 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 blah." And her coworker said, "What's wrong? You okay?" And she says, "You don't have to sign anymore." What do you mean? You don't have to sign anymore. And then she walked off. What? What? It pissed me off. I'm just like, you still know ASL. You still use after you have surgery. And then later, the next chapter, it talks about what kind of surgery. So it says reconstructing her hearing bone. Triotum, I don't know the word that it is. Tryon something plasty. I missed the first half. Typathoplasty? I don't know. I thought cochlear implant, but no, it's more details about, says we'll rebuild this bone and give back your hearing again. Fantasy. Yeah. But, okay, so already this book had a comment where he said, "My hearing impaired girl," 2 times. Hearing impaired, she's hearing impaired community. you know, how about in this Hunting Sirens book in the first, they goes a lot of description about deaf culture, and I love that. I love that. But this one, thank you to all of you hearing impaired community for helping me shape my character. I didn't remember that it said that. I know you told me, but nothing about ASL, nothing about what she's using or discussing. Thank you to the hearing impaired community for helping me shape this character. And Amy, your comment. So that is up to, like, you know, you and your daughter. Like, everyone is welcome in the deaf community. Not people who oppress, but, you know, like, so if that works for your family, that's great. But don't take her, like, deprive her of sign language. Like, you can have both. I wish growing up that I had sign language along with English, because I was raised hearing, even though my hearing loss was since 2. So I learned sign language later, which is why I do prefer SimComm, because I'm used to English. Now, when I'm just with Desi and other deaf or friends who interpret, I'm normally voice off. But, oh, that's awesome. She goes to a deaf school. Yay. That's exciting. I want to comment. I'm not against any path thing. Cochlear implant, surgery, hearing aids, that's whatever works for you guys. What pissed me off in this book is that character just automatically abandoned her identity. I don't feel like she had a deaf identity. She didn't have deaf pride. She had started to. Okay. Her boyfriend's starting sign and the community for her. But I'm having surgery. It'll fix everything. And the surgery is not going to fix everything. That's the point. Is it's a tool. It's not going to fix everything. Hearing aids don't fix everything. Cochlear implant doesn't fix everything. It's to help, and you still need sign language for access. Anyway, I'm happy that she is going to a deaf school. I think that's awesome. That's a great choice. Hope said, if they use that word in the community, do they really actually have contact? No. The writing is awful. I can't really tell which is signed. Like, she signs, they sign. Just all over the place. So it's interesting. So last 2 weeks ago, I had discussed that I put down a book that I was hoping would be good. It's by a hard of hearing author, Laura Brown. It was a cruise fling. And it's not bad writing. I put it down and I'm probably not going to read it. I have it, but I'm probably not going to read it. But it has a hard of hearing experience that is, yes, some people, they think that way. That is their true experience, where they hide their deafness. Like they hide that they have hearing aids, they have the same color as their hair, or they like cover it, or they don't tell people. But it's, as a personal preference, miscommunication, that one bothered me. Yeah, like everything could have been solved if they had just said, I'm deaf or I'm hard of hearing. Like the whole thing could have been fixed, because she couldn't hear him because he was quiet. Like, I'm not saying it's a inaccurate representation, because some hard of hearing people are exactly like this. But personal preference, I don't want to read this, because it makes me upset. It makes me frustrated. It makes me annoyed that the character didn't support themselves, didn't tell themselves. It's funny because I had a girls' night and we were swimming, and so I didn't have my hearing aids in, and I let them know I had my glasses on, because it wasn't like swimming. It was just like chilling in the pool, right? Like we had drinks. And I missed some things, and they just like, and because I speak, they sometimes forget that I can't hear. And it's not a problem, but I was talking about the book and I was just like, I can't read this because it just makes me angry. And they go, oh, we know. The first thing you said was, hey, because I was on the board at my daughter's school at the time, and like as soon as we walked in and we were introducing ourselves, first thing I said is like, I'm hard of hearing, I have hearing aids. I may say like, what? I may ask you to say it again, like just let you know I'm not being rude, like blah, blah, blah. Whatever, my normal conversation. Not being rude or like trying to be, just informing. Yeah. That also can be a lot of burden on us, because we have to inform people over and over again. And hello, I'm deaf, I'm hard of hearing, I can't hear you, I will need this, and this from you, eye contact, make sure you're looking at me. It's a lot. And now, like, make sure you understand, yeah. If I'm, just hiding it. So now if I'm meeting a person for like a few minutes, probably I'm not gonna tell them. But like if I'm gonna be around them like all week on a cruise, and we're hanging out and we're sitting together, or we're going to a comedy show, I'm gonna tell them, hey guys, like I'm deaf or I'm hard of hearing, I'm not gonna be able to understand, like, and so like I get really frustrated because I get angry that they don't support themselves. And I will say, I did not have deaf pride in high school because I was raised, hearing with hearing aids was the words that were used around me growing up. So I hid it. I didn't show. Did I let my teachers know? Yes. Did I tell people that at church? I mean, they knew, but I didn't say it again and again and again. Like I didn't always talk about it. Now it's like, but it was funny, like I was talking about the book to the girls group and they're like, that's hilarious. The first thing you said was, hey, I'm hard of hearing. Like, I have hearing aids. I will need you to eye contact or, say it again. Like, you weren't rude about it, but you never hid it. It's like, yeah, that. Also, it's nice, nicely, because I don't want other people to think that I'm rude and ignoring them, because that girl, that Mormon girl that came up to me was talking to me, and I was like, excuse me, I'm sorry. I can't understand you. I'm deaf. Yeah. I always say, oh, so I have a good story. Really fast, really fast, fast. I actually have a video that I need to post about it, but and Desi, I think I told you, but I had to get my oil changed in my car, and it was raining that day. But like, I went to a place, just like, it was like, I think it was express oil change or something, like, you know, the quick change. And the man was talking, but I couldn't see him because my hood of my car was, you know, it was up. So I couldn't see him. So he keeps talking, and then he just comes up, and like, my window is down, and he's like, "Are you okay?" Yes. And he goes, "Oh, I'm talking, but you didn't respond." "Oh, I'm sorry." I was like, "I'm hard of hearing. I have hearing aids. I couldn't hear." And he goes, "Oh, well, what do you need?" Yeah, that. What can I do? Yes. His name was Matthew. So if you live in my area, you can go there, because he was really nice and sweet. And he continued to make sure I could see him. I said, "Well, I need eye contact." And he goes, "Okay." Made sure he got another guy to come over to help. And he stood by my window and then like asked me to do, like, you know, left, like, blinker, yeah, brakes, like all that. But he stood by my window so I could see his lips, and the other guy was watching for the lights and everything. Yeah. It's just, it took an extra 2 minutes. And I did call him, like, back, and I said, you know, thank you. Like, you didn't have to do that, but you made my day, like, so much brighter, like, better. Like, I was like, thank you. Like, that's all I needed was, you know, like, but again, it is the burden, because we have to do it, and most people are not that understanding. But all he said was, "You okay? What do you need? How can I help you?" Thank you. Anyways, I'm gonna cry again because like right after that happened, like, I was just like sobbing. Like, I drove away, and I was just like, that was so sweet. It was. It's really funny. I was crying in my TikTok video. I haven't posted it because I was crying. I like how he said, "Are you okay?" Mm-hmm. "You didn't respond to me," because typically people respond with, "Wow, you're being a bitch. You're ignoring me. You're not talking to me," you know? And no, "You okay?" Well, I was just sitting there, and I was waiting. I knew it was coming, but I was just waiting because it was raining outside. So like, I had my hearing aids in, but it was raining. And I was like, so like, there's a So I have read Frida McFadden books, and I do like her book. Delia, no. The book that Desi is beta reading for is already published. Oh, yay, Casey, that's exciting. We're happy to have you. Yes, it's not beta, no. That's published. It's already published. I found it on Amazon. I was like, oh, let's click it. And oh. So maybe it needs to go in a little free library. Let another person read it. So Desi is trying to finish it. I told her I would have already DNF'd it. No, I have more books that I want to read. I don't have the time for that. I'm hoping this will, and realize the surgery will not fix everything. Fine, okay. But I can't forget ASL. It needs to have ASL, like a redemption story. I want her to have Deaf Pride. Mm-hmm. You don't have to sign anymore. Anyway, any last minute questions? If not, it was a good talk tonight. It was a good talk tonight. If not, next week we will be reading chapters 7 to 17. And it'll be around 8:45 Central Standard Time here next week on Wednesday. Maybe if we can get our kids to bed on time, 8:30, hopefully. Oh no, it wasn't just you tonight. Yeah, that. You have a job. Yeah, I would say a home mom, and we have kids, school, night. My youngest is 3. I think she's going through sleep regression. I think so. And a growth spurt. Oh, and she's just complaining. And then also she's missing her older siblings because they're not home. I do really like time alone with her. It's been really nice, but at the same time, it's no, I don't want a bath. No, I don't want to sleep. All this. And I'm like, what is wrong? What is happening? So, I was late tonight, but I did make it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did have, yes. I've finished reading Freedom McFadden books. I have not read Freedom McFadden books. I have 2 to read, but I have a TBR, so I'm trying to read them. They're easy reads, yeah. So The Housemaid was a good one. Never Lie, that was a really good one. I liked that one. I haven't read all of them yet, but some. So I like them. So yes, thank you. Me too. So hopefully school, work, and life will slow down, make it more smoothly, and we'll have the lives, and we'll get them smooth, and switch from summertime. Now, again, we are searching for like winter holiday books that have fall books that have deaf characters. We have a few choices ready for the next 2 months. I think we have both September and October choices ready, or we have choices available we know we wanted to pick through. But November and December right now, we're trying to find. So if you know any books that are written by deaf or hard of hearing authors that are holiday vibes, or have deaf and hard of hearing characters, or just ASL representation or sign language representation, let us know, because we have not found one yet. We started looking last year. So if you have one, or know of one, or have heard of one, let us know. That would be very helpful. Please. I really want a cozy book with a deaf character, a Christmas or holiday, a Hallmark kind of book, right? Anyway, okay, I think for tonight we're done. Yes, Delia, a Hallmark movie in a book. That would be fantastic. We'll see. We're gonna keep searching. Maybe we'll find one. Okay, well, happy Wednesday night, or Thursday morning if you're East Coast. It's late. And we'll see you next week. Happy reading. Bye. Good night.